It's Bondzee Live. With Bondzee on YouTube. Hi. How the hell are you? It's Bondzee. Bondzee Live and Trip with Bondzee on YouTube and the Dean Blundell Network. Little late start tonight again. Listen, I'll explain it all. Okay, it's been an insane. Well, all last week was insane, but that was a write off. That was like different. That was like a timeout, a Bondzee timeout, if you will. And Thanksgiving and all down here. I miss my Canadian Thanksgiving, so I sell it hard for American Thanksgiving in Arizona with my new Arizonian friends. Fucking love those people. I really do. I haven't met. I should say that there's one or two douchebags I've met in Arizona, but the rest of the people, my God, it's amazing. Not saying the people in California were bad, but there's a big difference. There's a difference. All right. It's Bondzee Live. Listen, we're gonna get into a few things. What was there was something I was gonna say right off the bat, and now I forget. But anyways, let me just stick to the notes. Make sure you watch the show on YouTube, everybody. It really helps my ass out. I know I say it every time, but it's like the old adage of what do you call it? Like the advertising. You got to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. You don't just do one commercial and fucking fall on deaf ears. You got to keep being annoying, and I'm gonna keep being annoying. Please go watch the show on YouTube, not Facebook. Not even Dean's Network. Watch it on my YouTube because then I get paid faster. All right. Thank you. Show is brought to you by Positive Mike's Brewing in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. You can't have the beer, so to speak, but you can buy the merch. And if you're in Edmonton, you can have the beer. You just got to go over and see him. He's not fully licensed yet, but so we're working on it. We've got to get this guy going. That's why he's advertising on Bondzee Live because he's good shit. It's Positive Mike's Brewing. You can get sick swag like that. We'll get to it. I've got a shirt, and I feel bad already. I listen. I'm sort of all over the map when it comes to where I've been living and not living, and I got my bus fixed, and so I was on the road, and then I thought I was going to San Diego, but it turns out I just wanted to come to Arizona to get this bus fixed. Plus, I had the guy to potentially buy it, which we're going to get into. So yeah, it was one of those things where I just didn't get to California, or I was already in California. Didn't get to LA to see my son yet, who has my brand new Positive Mike shirt, which is kind of my shirt. Wait till you see it; you're gonna love it. I love it. I'm dying to tell you, but I can't. It's got to be special. All right. So I think I'm going to LA soonish. Not sure when. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Coming up. But anyways, Positive Mike's Brewing. I can't wait to show you guys my swag of his. You guys got to go get your own, okay? Congrats to them on a great Movember. They sold out of T-shirts. They kick ass. They're the best. And you guys should go support him too. And from what I've understood, I haven't had them yet. I know my boy Glassy has, and some other friends like Army Chris. They like Positive Mike's wares, if you will. He's got some amazing beers. And anyways, hopefully you'll be able to merchandise that soon too. And you can order your own from Positive Mike's Brewing. All right. The show is also brought to you by Shakespeare's Fine Dining, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Best steak and seafood you'll ever have, folks. The celebs go there. You should go there. The food's great. The dad's been cooking in the kitchen. He owns it and has cooked there for 53 years. They got new hours. Go check it out. It's up there on the screen for you. And listen, you won't be disappointed. You'll be like, thank you, Bondzee. Tara Graves, a big listener here and fan. She's got a new podcast coming out too. She went there on my recommendation, by the way, not a big deal. And she loved it. She took her family there. They drove like an hour and a half from, can I say where I'm from, Tara? Keswick. They drove from Keswick to go to Shakespeare's Fine Dining just for the food and then all the way back. That's how good it is. You should go there. Shakespeare's Fine Dining, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Thanks for those guys. All right, tonight's special guest on Bondzee Live. You know him, you love him. It's Lachlan Cross from 95.7 Cruise FM, the morning show there. It's the Locker Room. It's the best show in Canada, the morning show in Canada, hands down. Anyways, you guys are going to love it. I'm going to stay at Lachlan's house for like, I don't know, 2.5 weeks while he's over in Budapest. Says the way how he says it. I don't know if it's the way you say it. Is it Budapest? Budapest? I don't know. Anyways, it's going to be a blast staying there. I can't wait to meet him. Anyways, he's coming up on the show shortly, 6, 7, 8 minutes. I'd be remiss if I went on without saying happy 13th birthday to my boy Tucker. I forgot to mention it. Glassy, there's a picture right there. I can see it. Boom. Did I get it in time? There's my guy. turned 13 yesterday. 13. Not a big deal. Like, unbelievable. Uh-oh, I'm in the waiting room. It's not letting me join in. Glassy, can you work on that? Can you resend Lachlan the says it's not letting him into the link that I sent him. Can you resend it to him? Thank you. I'm just going to tell him Glassy is on it. Yeah, so Lachlan Cross coming up real soon, folks. Listen, 5-2 Leafs at the end of the second. Canucks, my boy Glassy's Canucks are up 3-1 at the end of the second. Don't get to say that very often, so I'm pretty pumped for him. Anyways, I was saying happy birthday to my boy Tucker. Turned 13 yesterday. Oh, we had a great day. Even though I was super, super busy, I still made time for my boy yesterday. Loves going on walks. Loves finding big old grassy areas, which isn't easy to do in the desert, by the way. But this champion right here, God, he is the best. He loves golfing. He loves the ladies, even though he's gay as the day is long, because he really, really, really likes male dogs, which is fine with me. You know, good on him. But he loves girls, and it's hilarious because he's the worst wingman on the entire planet. You'd think, oh, he's so cute, oh, Tucky, you know, and I'd get all nothing. They call when I own the bar in Nicaragua or anywhere we've gone on this trip, it's all, oh my God, he's just so cute. Oh! They just gush over him, and he's just like, you know, pat me, and they got him all rubbing everywhere, and I'm like, hey, hi, I'm Bondzee. How are you? And they're just like, oh yeah, okay, I love your dog. Gotta go. Bye. Motherfucker, look at him over there sleeping away. Bless his little heart. And he's 13. I am terrified every single day to lose this dog. Had him for 13 years. My parents had him for about 3 or 4 when I went through my divorce. Tucky's a dog that needs people in his life 24/7. Wicked anxiety. I don't blame him. He's never been without somebody until it left me, and then didn't want him and split him and stuff. You know, like we did with the kids. And then it was just like when you work 12 hours a day and you own your own painting company. Wasn't very conducive to leave a dog that never been left alone for that long alone. So I had to give him to my parents for a little while. And then when I bought the bar in I almost said Hollywood. When I bought the bar in Nicaragua, Tucky and I, well, it was before that actually. Tucker's brother died, and I didn't want Tucky to be alone anymore, and I wanted him with me, and I was in a position where I could take him, so I did. I kind of felt bad for my parents because he lived with them for like 3 or 4 years. Hey, if they're watching, I don't know if they are. Gregory Scott, I heard you say the F word right off the start of the show, and I never raised you like that, Gregory Scott. So I left. It's disgusting. I know, Mom. I know. She's so disappointed in me. She's not disappointed in me. She's disappointed in this foul mouth that I have. I just don't understand why you have to swear so much. I never swear. It's true. I never heard my mom or dad say the F word. Never. Fucking crazy to me. But it's almost like the opposite. My kids hear me swear 1 trillion times over, like a trucker mouse since they were born, and they don't really swear a whole lot. Yeah, they swear. Like, don't get me wrong. They're 23 and 19, but good Lord. Yeah, it is what it is. Okay, one more good news before I get to my guest here. He's waiting in the background. I can see his sexy little face. I know he's watching the Edmonton game, or it's intermission, so I'll try and get him on right shortly. But good news. I dropped the news on Monday that I got an agent in LA. Not a big deal. I applied about 2 months ago now. I sent them my demo tapes, including voice and the action reel, if you will, of the best of clips from old Bondzarelli. But old Bondzarelli has an agent in Los Angeles now. Now, you're going to say, oh, what's it for? But it's probably a porno agent or something like that. And you're just going to be sucking dick on camera in no time. And it's like, nah, motherfucker, it's not like that. They're fully legit. My friend who's been there, Dylan Matina, he's been in Hollywood. Geez, he left Buffalo about 7 years ago now. And he's kicking ass for them. They get them all kinds of work, TV, movies, documentaries, like I said. And the biggest thing why I joined them is I want to start dubbing movies from Asia and stuff. Hong Kong, it's a huge market. It's huge money. And best thing is, I don't have to be in LA to do it. I can do it from wherever the hell I want. So I'm really proud of that. I reached out to the guy because I missed their phone call. He messaged me back. So all I got to do is sign the papers and put up a couple more send them a couple more professional headshots. Good to go. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So we'll see what comes of that. Like I said, I'm not looking to be fucking the next Brad Pitt or anything like that. It's more so for my voice acting career. And I'm not sick of reading scripts from YouTube and stuff and all these other things that I do. But the pay grade in Hollywood is way higher than the YouTube pay grade. All right, folks, without further ado, because I don't want this guy to miss too much of the third period coming up. It's a squad. The Oilers, they're kicking ass this year. This guy kicks ass too. You can catch him on the morning show. It's called The Locker Room, 95.7 Cruise FM. Lachlan Cross, this champion right here. How are you, buddy?
The game hasn't started yet, so I got a bit of time. No, it starts at 8.
You know what I was thinking of? It was the Canucks. I got the Canucks in the Edmonton mixed up. My bad, buddy.
Yeah, no, I casually cheer for the Canucks, actually. As well.
Sorry about that.
I know what I grew up in BC. I was born in whatchamacallit.
Well, that's I never heard of that.
I was born in BC. I was born in Alberta. I was born in Medicine Hat, but moved to BC before I was even like 3 years old.
Wow. All right, well, listen.
Ended up in Vancouver. I went to radio school at BCIT for a couple of years. Yeah. And so I was a Canucks fan when I was a kid. But I'm more defined as a hockey fan for my hatred of the Montreal Canadiens, if we're being honest.
There you go. Well, we're on the same page there, brother. Much love.
I cannot stand the Habs. I never have.
Me neither, bro.
So that's my thing, right?
Right on. Well, listen, man, it's fantastic.
When you move as much as I have too, you gravitate. Right. You sort of move around, right? So when I was in Winnipeg, I was in Winnipeg for 6 years, right? I was a Bombers fan when I was there, and I've been here since 2006. So you kind of got to cheer for the home team, no?
You do, especially when you're on the radio there and stuff, and you don't want to be like pro Edmonton or BC team when you're in Winnipeg and they're all diehard Jets and Bombers fans, So
I will tell you a story too. I was quite the little hockey player when I was a kid, and I actually played hockey with Travis Green. I was on a line. Yeah, I was on a line with Travis Green in Pee Wee and Dane Jackson. I centered the line. I'm trying to remember if Green played left or right. I think he played up the wing on the left. I think Dane Jackson played right wing. And I got that year. I must have got, because Travis couldn't skate. He had shitty wheels, and it was kind of on his it was on his card. Like, I mean, that was, everybody knew him before he made the NHL, and now he's coaching the Vancouver Canucks. He ended up with some wheels down the road, but he had fucking sweet mitts, and I just set the kid up the whole time. I think I had 109 assists that year, and he had like 120 goals. Wow. But he would just go right to the front of the net, and I'd feed him, and I listen, I don't think I ever would have made the NHL. I mean, everybody has that story, like, I had a knee injury.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to play past a certain point because I was dirt ass poor. So we didn't get to play, and I just sort of put it aside and moved on to high school sports. And then Travis went on and made the NHL. So did Dane. Dane made the NHL. He played for Vancouver as well, but he went the university route, or he went the military route, and he ended up playing and then making it into the NHL for a couple of years. I think he had a bad back once he finally made the NHL. But the two guys I played on a line with in Pee Wee and Castlegar, BC, ended up in the NHL. So who knows, Bondzee?
Yeah, who knows?
Right.
Hey, and this Positive Mike guy, I know you know him, and he's my sponsor and all, but he's pretty mouthy here saying, I cheer. Oh, I misread that. I'm sorry.
Positive. I cheer for the Habs before the Leafs or the Flames. How dare him? How dare in town here, though, it's Bondzee. It's interesting. You're coming to Edmonton.
Meet the Leafs.
It is. You will meet people it switches back and forth. Edmonton's a unique town in that there is a tremendous amount of hatred for the Flames. There is a tremendous amount of hatred for the Canucks. There's a tremendous amount of hatred for the Habs, and there's a tremendous amount of hatred for the Leafs. I don't know what it is, and it just depends on where you are and what day of the week it is. But yeah, people get very, very particular. I will even cheer for the Leafs if they're playing the Habs.
Attaboy.
That's
But
I don't
otherwise,
cheer for the Leafs, though.
we don't have any love for the Leafs other than that, Locke.
They look good this year. And the thing about the Leafs this year that I think Leaf fans should be excited about is that they're playing a complete game. Like, they're playing defensively. They've got a good goaltender, and they've always had offense. I mean, with the young kids, they got Marner and Matthews and who plays on the wing with Tavares? What's his name again? The Swedish kid, the one that looks like he makes cookies in a tree.
Yeah.
What the hell
like
is his
he's
name?
12 years old or something. Mikhail, I don't. Am I right there, Mikhailov or
Glassy? What's the name?
Yeah,
What's the kid?
I was
Morgan Riley.
Morgan Riley.
Gotcha.
Thank you, Glassy. I lost his name there for a minute. He plays with Tavares. That guy's got Nylander. Also looks like he makes cookies. Yeah.
Hey, listen. It's sorry, I just saw something. But it's amazing how when you've got a goaltender like Jack Campbell in front of you, who is the most nicest, sweetest guy in the world, like he just doesn't almost fit that NHL persona, if you will. Like you see him when he's doing his interviews and stuff, he almost looks like the shy kid in the corner, and he's like, "Oh shucks, you guys want to interview me and stuff." And I couldn't be happier for that guy. And I guess when you're playing for him, it even goes more tenfold, Locke, because these guys are playing off their ass for this Campbell kid, because he's had a tough career coming up to where he is.
Yeah. How old is he? I don't know a lot about it, but he's a little bit older, right? Isn't he?
Oh, yeah. He's not super young. He had a tough go. He was like a backup in LA. I think he was a backup somewhere else. And he just never fit in anywhere and wasn't having the best of luck. And then when I think he was in the AHL with the Marlies, if I'm not mistaken, and had an outstanding career. I think they won the Calder Cup.
Fucking lit up the A.
Yeah. And then he got his shot, right? And then he went on, I think it was last year, where he got the record for the most wins by a Leaf goalie consecutively in a row, which was, I think, 11, if I'm not mistaken, right? So
I think right now he's sitting on the best win percentage in the NHL.
He is I wouldn't doubt it.
He's got some stat that puts him at the top of the league for goaltending. I mean, the thing about the goaltending is that a guy will catch fire, right? And then you can ride him right to the playoffs, but you got to pray that kid doesn't get hurt. So hopefully he can stay healthy. I mean, that's a major problem. We got a major problem in Edmonton with the goaltending because we haven't got a blowout number one. I mean, Smith has his moments, but he's also 108 in hockey years. And he's hurt right now, and there's conversation about surgery and him not coming back. The Skinner kid I really like, but I don't know if he's a clear number one either, right?
Are you guys looking? I was listening to Spit and Chicklets while I was driving today, and it's tough to concentrate on everything that was going on, but I thought I heard mention of you guys bringing back a former goaltender who's over in like Russia or Sweden, right? Who played for you that's not playing for you now?
Shit, I know who you're talking about.
I think
the name escapes me right now.
Or they're looking at bringing him back, or they were joking saying the GM should be on the next plane over there to get him. And I listen, like I said, today was a crazy day.
There's a problem with the Russian players. Some of them are really they're attached to the homeland, right? So I think, and don't quote me, I could be totally fucking wrong on this, because I'm not a total sports donkey. I don't follow this shit like a lot of people do. But I think the goalie you're talking about is quite fond of yes. There we go.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Ilya
Glassy.
Konovalov.
Yeah, I think he is very. I mean, they'll drag him over here for money, right? Because they'll set him up for the
That's
rest
what
of
it's
his
going
life,
to take.
right? But I think he's a bit of a homebody,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
They
that's what
don't
they
if they
were
don't
kind of
speak the
alluding to.
language, they're like they're like a duck out of water.
Oh, it's got to be tough, eh, bro? Like,
Well, I would think, and a lot of
but
these fucking kids are
listen,
young.
money and the lifestyle doesn't suck. They get treated like royalty everywhere they go. I mean, yeah, I guess it's not for everybody, but I don't know. They were saying it was going to take a bunch to lure them back. Whoever this was, I just can't remember the name. Sorry.
I think it might not be allowed. The one conversation that people are having in Edmonton right now is the DeBrusque conversation. The kid.
Okay.
Is that
the one whose mom Boston. Showed her muff in the when he got drafted, or am I thinking of somebody else? Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
Jake, his dad does the call on Sportsnet.
Okay.
Louis DeBrusque, and he's an Edmonton Oiler. He's an old Oiler, and he's on the broadcast. I don't know about the mom.
I think I'm thinking of somebody else. I think it was a kid that got drafted to Ottawa, maybe, or
Wade's a bit. He follows the team a bit closer than me. Wade, do you know? Because Wade's in the comments right now. Did the DeBrusque mom show her muff? Was she pantyless at the draft or something?
You don't remember this, dude?
No.
I should too. I just remember that this kid was horrified because her mom was like, I was saying, it was like right out of the Sharon Stone, right?
Sharon Stone thing. Okay.
And she, and it was accidental, of course, but it made the rounds, and the poor kid, he probably still doesn't live it down out on the ice, because NHL players are relentless with, you got to be a good hockey player, but you got to have thick skin, and you got to have a hot tongue on you to survive in the NHL. It's not about just skill. It's true.
Well, that was one of the that is actually one of the skills I would have had that would have done me well in the NHL. I was a mouthy little prick, but I was also 6 feet by the time I was in grade 8. I'm 6'4". I'm 230 pounds right now, and I am the worst fighter you will ever meet.
What?
I used to get, and I played hockey all the way, like through my adult years too. I did pickup and men's league, and I used to get my ass handed to me. And when you got a mouth like mine, you should be able to frickin' back this up. But I never was. I had no skill in the fighting department. I remember there was one fight I had. I was fighting a smaller guy than me, but not that much smaller, but quite a bit, probably only 180 pounds, probably less than 6 feet. So small for me. I got my hand back, and before I even get a chance to punch him, he must have punched me 6 times.
And that's a long way to go back for a big fellow going for the haymaker,
Yeah, and I was eating. I was eating, and then the next thing you know, you're turtling, and then he's punching you in the top of the head. So I don't know how many fights I lost because I wasn't quick enough. I didn't get my hands back quick enough.
So you're the biggest 6'4", 230-pound pussy I've ever met.
You know what? Listen, I stood in there.
Is it a balance thing though, too, Locke, or is it just like
it's a skill thing, dude? It's a lot of work. I mean, you have to be good at fighting. Yeah. You do. It's a thing, right?
Your boy fire for
that's Army
Chris. He says you run like a wounded gazelle.
Oh man, when I played ball and Army Chris played ball with me, softball, I'd hit a ball and I'd run to first base, maybe get a double if I was lucky. And I have no athletic ability. I was not blessed with a graceful. I can do every sport. I just don't look good doing any of them. People would laugh. I could hear people laughing on the bench when I was running.
Well, I got a great story for you. You'll love this. And I was in Nicaragua, and listen, I was a raging alcoholic there. I had a barrel on me, dude, because there was no exercising. I owned a bar, and I ran it rather well. And then I managed the bar. Yeah, eating shit food every single day. It was like I just pick a different item off the menu every day. Okay, senor, cook me up some chicken wings, or it was just different every night. Anyways, I'll never forget. I played softball there as well, and I'd broken my foot early in the season, so I missed a lot of the season. I was in a cast, and
I
it was
love how
like
you're calling it a season.
it is, dude. I think they have 2 different seasons there, and then they take a little bit of time off, but they're serious about their softball there, dude. And we got our asses handed. We had a bunch of Nicaraguan guys on our team, but we were made up of I shouldn't say, it's about half and half, but we had a bunch of gringos. And we were shit, dude. We were shit. We'd get our asses handed to us every time, but we had the most fun out of anybody in the league. And I think it was it was the last game of the season, and it was my first game back. And didn't I hit a home run? Well, you should have seen this pant load run around those bases. I almost fucking went head over first, ass over tea kettle, because I was like, it wasn't like a dinger over the fence. It was a dinger where you had to leg it out, and I knew it was going to be close. Anyways, I could hear the laughter. I could feel the laughter. Anyways, I got a home run, and they went fucking wild for me because I'm passionate about my sports. I watched most of the season on the bench, and to go out there and get my first homer of the season in the last game at my last at bat was epic, bro.
I played ball. I played softball in high school, and we had a really decent team, and I pitched. I was the backup pitcher, and I could throw the ball 100 miles an hour, but I wasn't very accurate. So I only got thrown in special occasions. So I would fire the ball in there, and quite a lot of times I was hitting batters and shit. So that's my extent, and I don't know why I get it just hitting the ball. It's not going to happen, right? And not only that, now I played softball, and I can play, but I mean, I was playing in leagues where guys cared, and then if you screw up, which I'm gonna do, right? You're gonna mess up, or you're at bat and they're beaking you, and my baseball career ended.
Yeah. So now from Lindley says you're pretty awesome at all the high intensity sports now, because our boy is watching. He says you're pretty solid at the lawn darts, the bowling, all that stuff. You're really good at the drinking sports, is what it boils down to, Locke.
Okay, listen, I'll tell you one thing. It drives my wife absolutely crazy. So when I moved to Winnipeg, this was back in 2000. She was like, "We should learn how to curl." And I'm like, "You know what? That sounds like a fun idea." So we went. Curling's. Have you ever curled, Bondzee?
Dude, I curled in high school. It's where I started, and then I curled when I was married. I haven't done it in a bit, but I like it, and I'm not awesome at it, but I'm decent.
Well, I'll tell you, we went to lessons, took lessons, and then we got into a league, like a mixed couples league. So we would go and you'd get a team together, and you'd have like three couples, and then you'd sort of rotate, right? So I didn't play a ton, but I played enough. My wife is really good at. My wife comes from a completely wildly successful athletic family. Her brother was in the Olympics. Her dad, before he passed away, was an unbelievable athlete. My wife, if you watch her swing a golf club, you'd be like, why aren't you in the LPGA? Like, she's a great athlete. Now she curls, and she's a wicked curler in her early 50s, and she didn't start until, we were in our 30s. And she's a great curler. She plays and she's out tonight. She's curling tonight. I'm at home by myself, hanging out with the dog. And when she skips, actually, I got a funny Army Chris story.
That's hilarious. Army Chris, Locke's wife banned me from every curling event in Edmonton.
He was trying to tell her what to throw. And my wife turned around and just said, "Listen, you're going to need to shut your pie hole." And he went, "Okay," and left the... We were in a media bond spiel with my wife skipping, and Army Chris is trying to give her tips from the fucking bleachers. Such a tool. Oh, we were laughing so hard when she turned around and told him off. It was the best part of the whole weekend.
I bet it was.
So the curling thing, when I did it, it was You could drink on the ice.
Of
It was
course.
a mixed. It was a social thing.
Yeah.
I never really did much of it. Right. My wife takes it way more seriously. But I have this unbelievable ability to throw rocks. Like I'm
No way.
very good at it, but I look like I look like a car accident or a dog fight coming out of the hack. Right? And it drives her crazy because
You
I
got no
have
form
no
is what you're saying,
technique,
Locke.
no form. Like it looks awful. And yet my rocks go right down. I'll do draws, and she just shakes her head every time because now
Yeah.
I'm on the spare list, right? So if they need somebody, and because she plays in a couple of situations, so I get called out maybe once or twice a year. I'll go curl. I got a broom that I got at Canadian Tire for $7.
Yeah.
Like I'm that curler, right? Like
Nice.
if I'm not allowed to drink, I'm taking a Gatorade bottle full of beer on the ice and.
Yeah, right. Of course.
Yeah.
Porque no.
And they always don't let anybody fool you. They let the best curlers throw first, by the way, just so you know.
That's it. Got to set it up, right? Well, it's like having a Jim Furyk swing. It looks like a dog's breakfast, but it works for him, Like I've never seen anything more unorthodox. Even Matt Wolf swings, it's weird, but it's not. Yeah. It's not even Jim Furyk weird. You know what I mean? But dude, you're awesome. It's funny. I had this whole agenda to talk to you, and we talk sports for a good 20 minutes now.
We don't do enough of that. We should do that more on the podcast. You know what? At the end of the podcast today, when we were doing the Blundell podcast, we got into hockey. We had a hockey conversation. I don't mind doing that every once in a while.
No, it needs to be had. Dean's long. Bless him. Listen, it's worked for him. He's got his agenda, but he's pretty COVID heavy. He used to be a little more political heavy, not so much anymore.
You know what?
He's banned the politics.
He's pulled back on the COVID shit big time.
Yeah. Yeah, he has. Listen, dude, he's amazing at what he does. He knows what he's doing, and his brain works in a different way than. Oh, maybe not yours. Like you've had a successful morning show for forever now. You've been employed, so you're doing something right too, dude. You're the best Canada morning show in Canada, hands down.
Oh Jesus, don't say that.
No, it's true. But we got a lot of people from Ontario, me included, that listen to the show. I've been lucky enough to be on the show a bunch of times as a guest, and listen, you guys are funny dudes. And I encourage everybody to go watch it.
We got good chemistry, right?
Yeah.
And
look at that.
That's an old picture. That's a Sears picture that I shot in Prince George after the birth of my first child, Natasha. Dude. And so Wade, I believe Wade's listening tonight. Wade and his boy, who's really good on computers and has done some Photoshop shit for us. He went and put Jimmy's head on Natasha and then Grant's head on my wife's picture.
That is unbelievable, dude. Like it really is unbelievable.
It's one of my favorite campaigns that we have, actually.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Wade's done is great. He's done some stuff for me too, and that one was awesome. The other one I know he did was the Seinfeld one. Glassy, do we have that in the system, or did we delete them? Fuck, I think I took them out. My bad. Anyway, he'll probably
is that
get him
on Costanza's head?
Yes.
Yeah. I think he put Grant on Costanza.
Oh, was it Grant? And it was Grant, and then I saw Wade's face on there, and I almost threw up. But pretty funny stuff, dude. Yeah, and you literally, Glassy's on it. I know Brad Walker says, "Oh Jesus," that cannot be unseen. Wait till you see some of the others we got coming up here in a minute. So, but while Glassy's working on that, I got to ask you. We met, it's almost been a year now, Locke. And I came on to the scene on the Dean Blundell show when I texted him and said, yeah, Dean, I sold my house. I sold everything I own, and I bought a 45-foot bus.
I remember when we brought you on.
Are you down for a collaboration or something? And he just texted me back and he's like, you're fucking right, I am. And he goes, you're batshit crazy. And I love it. And then it started. Yeah. So I came on the show. I don't know if you remember the first show or not. I have to ask you your first impression, because we all know James's. That fucker hated me for the first, I think, month or so.
I don't know if James likes himself.
Yeah, well, this is true. But what was your first impression? Like, listen, you have to understand, I was so excited to be part of this. I'd been at it for a while. I'm just doing this on my own. Had some help, the odd producer here and there, but nobody solid. And then all of a sudden I'm on Dean's show and I was shot out of a fucking cannon. I don't know if you remember. I came on so excited and hot. And Dean is like, Bondzee, you're at a 12. You need to be about a 6. That was the first time we ever met.
Remember you were a little unhinged. Yeah. Okay. I will tell you something about me. Something happened to me when I was a kid, and I have a couple of moments in my life where I seem to recall where it could have been the moment where this happened. But when everybody in your life, when all your authority figures are sort of all brought down and they all crumble down to the same level, right? You have a very different perspective of authority, and you have a very different perspective of, like, I don't treat anybody any differently. If you're the president of a massive company or if you're the janitor, to me, you're just a human being. And I have been like that fucking my whole life. And it has caused me a lot of grief because, unfortunately, the guy that runs the company quite often feels like he deserves to be treated differently than the guy he hired to clean the shitters.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, they're on the same fucking level until you convince me otherwise, right?
We're all humans, right?
We're all the fucking same, and I don't give a shit what lot in life you have. If you have money, if you don't have money, we're all on the same playing field. And so I've treated people equally my whole life. And again, it's gotten me into trouble. So I have always gravitated to people who are just themselves, who are real, who are a little bit different, a little left of center. So I like crazy. All my friends, my whole life, have been complete wingnuts to a man. Every single one of them, right? My best friend is a raging alcoholic, overweight midget, okay, with dyslexia, right? And I've surrounded myself with these people over the years that are different, but they're just fucking human beings. And I don't know, man. The first time I knew you and I were going to be friends, the day you were on that podcast. I knew it. I absolutely knew it. And you're a different breed. I appreciate people who take chances and do different things, right?
Yeah.
And so, because I'm a bit of a wimp that way, I have lived, as crazy as all my friends are, I have a pretty stable existence in the world, right?
Yeah.
I had a couple of kids. I got a wife. She's got a job. I'm always employed. I got a house. I'm in debt with a mortgage. I got a couple of cars in the garage. Oh, that one.
I love it. I love
old
it.
Locker with the fucking old 80s glasses. Look at that, eh?
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's pretty slick.
I think Wade put Grant's head on that one too, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if he has Grant's. He's busy
Grant
back
from
there.
the
I can see
locker.
his
That's
eyes
fine.
and head just going like, I love watching Glassy in the background. That's
the lawn darts tournament.
Dude, isn't that you're diving into a pond of lily pads? Is this what I'm seeing?
It was just a flooded field.
Oh.
No one would do it. So I had to step up. I had to be the man and jump in the water.
Good.
That's where you and I are the same, I think.
Yeah, dude. Well, it was like when I met my new American friends for Thanksgiving and stuff. You gotta step up to the plate and be one of them when you're on their turf and stuff. And I couldn't just be the Sally ass, oh no, I'm okay. I'll just sit over in the corner. And my friend Carrie LaPuglia is watching tonight, and she's like, still on the bus. So what she's thinking right now is Bondzee's just shittered, and I'm still at the campground getting fucked up with the Arizonians. Little does she know that I'm not, and I made huge moves today. and we didn't get to that, and we will. So they, just tone it down.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, where are you at with your drinking?
It's on again, off again relationship.
And that's fair. And I don't think you should feel bad about that.
Listen, from what I was told, Locke, from some solid friends who were pretty good alcoholics, some of them it took a year of the on again, off again. They finally did it. It'll click one day. And and I know in my heart and in my head, Locke, I'm getting there. Now, listen, I'm going through. I've been super, super stressed lately because I knew I was coming to an end with this bus. I was worried about the bus and, selling it and everything. I know it's going to sell. And here's the craziest part. All this worry and stress that I put myself through over the past probably 2 months of this, because I knew this was coming to an end. I knew I wanted to do different things. I didn't want to be on this bus anymore. And people are like, well, why don't you just keep it and store it and stuff? These type of buses, folks, if you know them, and they're diesel pushers, they're not like your fifth wheel or a machine like that can sit around. You can't park them. They need to be driven. They want to be driven. They're like a fucking racehorse that needs to be run, And so then I knew in my heart that I wanted to sell it, but I knew the stress that was going to come with that. I did damage the bus. So I was worried about, is anybody going to buy it? Or just listen, I'm kind of a worrywart. And on top of being that guy, I got to still survive on the road. I still have a full-time job that I got to do every day, whether I'm getting smashed or not. And I really let it kind of slip in the past couple weeks because of the Reggie thing really upset me. And then honestly, Locke, I have no regrets. I do not regret one shot of that moonshine. I don't, because
I would have done the same thing.
It got me over a hump that I was upset with myself because you shouldn't be speaking. I don't care how much she wronged me and stuff. I shouldn't have said it. And that's enough of that. But it was just the culmination of things. And then knowing that I've got to pack everything up. I've got to do this. And it's like Dean and my manager, Jason, and I give him a huge shout out and kudos. They're almost the same. They're like, dude, one step at a time.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, stupid. You can't fix everything in a fucking day, So I'm my own worst enemy, Locke, what it boils down to. And part and parcel is drinking.
Yeah.
It alleviates my pain when I'm really suffering. Yeah. And I've had weird dreams and shitty, scary dreams lately, and especially of my past. With the train one has been back, which I haven't had in fucking 6 years.
Yeah.
Horrible nightmares of that again, which sucks. And it makes me want to drink my face off.
Yeah.
Also weird dreams about just my people in my past and dark shit. And it's been weird and not cool. So it's a struggle, dude. I can go 3, 4, 5, 6 days. I've gone even longer without drinking. And then it's just like, boom, hit a wall. And it's like, oh, motherfucker, I got to drink. So it's a work in progress, dude.
Well, I mean, I think I would side with you on the alcoholism thing, right? Like technically speaking, I am an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Right. But I choose to ignore the issues. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, I fully get it.
I don't consider this a problem because I've told myself it's not. I've convinced myself. I've lied to myself.
You're really good at that.
We're awesome at it, right? And I also function like I'm a extremely high functioning drinker, right? And so what I can do in a given week with the amount of booze that I consume is quite remarkable.
Yeah.
Right? And I choose to deal with my stress or my anxiety or whatever it is that I have in my life by going down into the basement and having a couple of drinks, right? Okay. And I'm not at a point where I'm going to admit that I have a problem and that I have to try to quit, right?
Yeah.
You're at a point where you are going, okay, this is a problem. I should probably try to find a way to quit. So you're coming to Edmonton. I just want to know where you and I are at with this.
Well, you know what? It's
can
funny
I have
because
this around you? Like, I would
yeah,
be, if you said, Locke, I can't be in the same room with you while you're hammering Bud Lights. I would take a break that night. I can do that, and I would but I need you to tell me what you honestly need from me.
here's how it'll go. When I come there, you know, I think I'm still, as much as I want to quit, I think it's still, I'm not going to lie, dude. It's December 1st today. I'm going to be there within the next 11 days.
Yeah.
I'm going to be hanging with Army Chris. I'm going to be hanging with you. I'm going to be hanging with Jimmy. You know, I'll have some beers with you guys. I don't want it to be fucking put away. I don't want it to be put in a closet.
Okay.
I'm a functioning alcoholic too, and lest anybody think differently. And I'm pretty proud of myself. And yes, I am Greg Bond. I'm an alcoholic, but I'm a pretty fucking good alcoholic. And I'm not condoning that.
Mhm.
But what I'm saying is, I managed to cross 8 states, drive 6,000 miles.
Yeah.
My son for 3 weeks, had the most amazing memories. Dude, it's not like I sit here and get fucking shittered from 6 a.m. till the time I go to bed.
No.
It's not like that.
And neither do
You know
I.
why I want to quit drinking, Locke? It's not because I can't function and do everything. I've still done everything I've done. You know why I want to quit? Is because it just doesn't make me feel good the next day. And I'm not talking physically where I'm throwing up or barfing every day.
You're talking mentally.
I don't. I'm talking mentally. And that's why I want to quit drinking. It's not
I
because
don't have that.
I can't function.
I don't get up the next morning and I don't have this mental sort of issue revolving around alcohol. And I know people, I have friends that are like that. And so it's just different, right?
It is different, and listen, you know, I suffer from, I probably, if this train
You have
thing that I thought would
PTSD.
never happen, I might not be where I am today with alcohol and drugs and stuff. But sadly, I am, and so it's listen. I know one day, either I will never drink again, or I'll get to a point where I'll be able to just go out on a Friday night with the boys, or maybe one round a week I'll choose to just go and drink. There's a funny story I got about a buddy's dad who was an absolutely raging fucking alcoholic. And they made a deal. It was like, Dad, you're either done from your entire family forever because you're way too much. You're out of control, like multiple DUIs, you know, and just an angry, miserable drunk, to you can drink once a week. We'll, you know, limit it. You're not going to get to be whatever it was, but that'll keep you in our lives. And guess what he does? He drinks every Friday night, has a great time. They love him. He learned to control it. That's what I would like to work towards, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm a function, like I function perfectly. Like it's not, that's not.
It doesn't mean you don't have a problem. It doesn't mean that I don't have a problem. It just means that we're coping with whatever it is that we're, right?
Yeah.
Like we have coping mechanisms, and alcohol is definitely one of them. Yeah. For me, here's what I'll tell you. Like, I have an addictive personality. I didn't start smoking until I was like 18. And then you never saw me without a cigarette. I smoked a pack and a half, 2 packs a day for 10 straight fucking years. And then I was like, okay, this is probably an issue and I should quit. It took me 10 years to quit. I quit on November 7th, 2008. I had one puff of a cigarette that made me sick that New Year's Eve, and I haven't smoked since because I knew I had to quit. And listen, if somebody told me that, I also have tried blow a couple of times. And I remember thinking to myself, all right, this will destroy your fucking life. You better not get on this, because you have a problem with substances, Locke. So now listen, I'm not one of these experimental drug guys. Like we know a couple of these people.
Yeah.
And where they've tried everything multiple times and they can like tell you the in and outs of meth and all this other, like, I'm not that guy. I wasn't a big experimenter, but I will say this. You can't do anything anymore. They've taken all this shit away from you. Nothing's good for you, right?
Yeah.
So I have coffee and I have fucking booze.
Beer.
And I'm dealing with it. I deal with it because I don't want them to take anything else away from me, right?
You're winning, Locke, because you got the number one show in Canada. You're on the number one podcast in Canada. So I think listen, the dozen beers or 10 beers a day you drink or whatever it is, it's not a bad thing, dude. It really isn't. It works for you. You have two kids. One's living across the world, dude, and is an amazing dancer. One's in at university in Toronto in her last year. You know, Toronto. Sorry, I have to say Toronto for. I'm so used to saying Toronto now because of my readings, and you can't have a Canadian accent. I have to say again, against. Not again and against. It's so funny. But there's those nuances. Anyways, dude, you've done something right. And it's not like you're not that raging alcoholic like I've met in the A meetings who have 12 DUIs and have spent time in jail and beat their wives or significant others or kids because they were fucking wasted every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a huge
I've never
difference.
been like that. No.
And me neither. So listen, I am an alcoholic. You're an alcoholic, but we're on, there's so many different degrees of it.
I just want to know, just out of respect for you, when we do end up hanging out.
Party away. And listen, also choose. I'm going to find myself a nice sweet bag of weed when I get there. And if I choose to have a couple beers with you guys, that's probably, probably 3 or 4 times. It's not going to be like hanging with my American buddies, drinking moonshine with you boys up in Berta. But we're not going to be at that level right there. But I'm going to enjoy it. I want to try Positive Mike's habanero mango brew. Dude, I watched him brew it. Like, the videos were awesome. His wife damn near was like crying for a day because of the habanero melting in the pot to melt it down for the process. And I'm excited for it. So I'm going to have a couple beers while I'm up there. I'm not going to get absolutely shittered.
Positive
Mike. Some wine with the Paulaways. Christmas Eve, I've got dinner there. And then I'll smoke a lot of weed.
Window. The Positive Mike habanero beer. I don't know where he's at with this selling of this, but he's got to get that out on the market. He's got a couple of brews that are just they're fucking amazing. And I swear to you, Bondzee, you will be blown away at how good he is at brewing. He does this awesome rum lager that is like, I mean, when he drops off booze every like couple of months, he drops off a case of beer for the, like a box with a bunch of big bottles in it.
Good for him.
And we all fight over the rum lager. And he's got some amazing brews, and that the spicy ones that he's been releasing are unbelievable. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we're working on it, man. We're promoting him on the show. He's a sponsor right now, and I can't thank him enough. It's Positive Mike's Brewing. Everybody's got to go check it out. And let's try and get it marketed and get him out there, because he really is awesome at what he does. And I've seen the different flavors, and I can't wait to get up there and sample them for sure. I was going to ask you. So anyway, no, I'll finish off. Let's have a good time. I'm not going to get shittered. I've got a ton of work to do when I get up there. I've got some doctors to see. And listen, we're just going to have fun. And I'm looking forward to having a couple of beers with you, Jimmy, and the rest of the crew out there that's up in Edmonton with you guys.
Yeah. You know what? And I think I said this earlier. Like, the one thing about what we're doing with this podcast thing, right? Because this is fairly new to me. I've been doing it about a year now. Dean, I sort of kind of knew Dean. I mean, all of us are in the same boat, right? We all kind of knew him.
Yeah.
And at some point, I'm not even exactly sure why he invited me on. And then the next thing you know, I'm on the next week, and then I'm on twice the next week. And then a month later, I'm on, every day, right? Like it's sort of built from that, right? And I know people that have heard the Blondell podcast. They've probably heard Dean's opinions about terrestrial radio, and he's probably, well, he has a reason why he's where he's at in his mind about these big companies. And there's a lot of cynicism in our business right now, and there's a lot of things that they've done wrong and mistakes they're making, and they continue to make. But I don't think radio is dead, and I think it's there are a lot of markets in this country, and Edmonton is one of them, where there's some really strong talent, especially on mornings. Like it's fucking competitive, man. We got some very good shows here in the Edmonton market. We're just one of them, and the fact that we have anybody listening to us, I'm eternally grateful daily. But I love what I do. I get up every morning. I bounce out of bed. I'm excited to go into work. I can't wait to get into work.
And that's pretty exciting. What time do you get up in the morning, dude?
Between 3:30 and 3:45 every day. Yeah.
I just spring out of bed. Golly gee, look at me go. Dude,
yeah.
The alarm goes off at 7 and I want to slaughter it.
Yeah. No, man, you get used to it. But I've always been a bit of a morning person.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this for a long, long time. And there's a lot of things that I think that the radio industry needs to address and fix. And hopefully we can do that. And I think podcasting is this exciting new thing, and it's growing exponentially. The Dean Blundell Podcast Network, I mean, we're privy to numbers, but it's fucking exploding. This
Dude,
podcast
I saw
network,
that
man.
email the other day, and it was mind numbing to me, and it kind of is what really it was the pep in my step that I needed, because I know it came out a little while ago with you guys, and I think I even responded and said I can't open anything, and then I found it in a trash email or something, and I found how to open the link, and I saw the numbers, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, hey, I'm a big part of that. I'm on a show. I get to broadcast my show through it. I get to blog on there. I'm like, I'm going to fucking start even blog more, because the numbers are unbelievable, dude.
They're fucking huge. Like it's growing. I mean, it's growing by leaps and bounds. It's 400% a year growth in the last 6 years. And the last couple of months have been massive. Now, listen, I truly believe that there's a lot that radio can learn from podcasting, but I also think there's a lot that podcasting can learn from traditional radio. And I think that guys like Dean and I are proving that. Like, we're bringing what we've learned from radio to podcasting, and we're part of this growth, right? And there's a lot of radio people with a lot of experience that are taking what they learned and they're moving it into this podcasting, this format. But
you and Dean have a really cool connection, dude. If I may, sorry to interrupt.
We do.
But it's unbelievable. Dean knows how to fire you up and unleash you.
Yeah.
You know how to go off and do your thing, and Dean lets you do it, and he sits back, and it's like, it's gold, dude. It's like tonight, to be honest, I was on the road 90% of this day before I got here, about 30 minutes before the podcast, and I had done 0.0 effort into the show. And you were lucky enough to help me out. And my boy Glassy, who was huge today, whilst I was on the road and dealing with everything else and doing a live podcast with you out of a truck stop, car wash, truck wash thing. Dude, you're just gold. And I had no notes. This is just free willy. And you have a real talent, my friend. And I love watching, even when I'm not on, I'm on there every day, listening whilst I work. And
it's fun, man. It's
you
fun.
Guys are the best.
You know what I wanted to say, though, is that the thing that I think, for me, that I've gotten out of the podcasting thing, I mean, we don't need to get into the sort of the technical side of it and what I've learned about myself as a talent and what I'm doing differently, because I I have to flex different muscles on the radio and on the podcast. I'm
Yeah, because
playing
you can
different
swear on
roles.
one and not on the other,
Well,
so to
yeah,
speak,
but
right? And
I'm also playing a different role. Like I'm the driver on the locker room, and then I'm the co-host on the podcast, which I enjoy, right? So I
yeah,
can sort of sit back and relax a little
yeah,
bit. And those are two different muscles. You have to you have to use
for sure.
different
You got to
skills,
put the
right?
governor on sometimes because
Yeah.
it's not your show, so to speak.
But back to I'm trying to get to a point here, but the whole point of the podcast thing for me, and this is something that I haven't had or felt a long time in the radio business, is this sort of community. And I've talked to Dean numerous times, and I should probably have passed this information on to the other guys that join us on a regular basis on the Dean Blundell podcast every day. But the community, oddly, that it is created is something that I have grown very fond of, right?
Yeah, it's pretty damn special.
It is. I mean, I feel like we're closer and we've got this little community of broadcasters from this podcast thing. And I haven't felt like that. I mean, listen, I got Grant and Jimmy, and I love those two guys, and I'd go to the wall for them. But I haven't felt that community like this podcast community that we have in a long, long time in the terrestrial radio business. And unfortunately, the consolidation, the overbuying by the bigger companies, and people basically terrified for their jobs on a daily basis has sucked a lot of energy out of terrestrial radio. I don't let that worry me when I go into work every day. So I
Yeah,
don't think people are hearing that when they're listening to the locker room. And that might be why we're resonating with people across the country. But that community that is being developed right now and continues to grow on the podcast network here with Dean Blundell is something special. And I don't know where it started. I don't know who's responsible for. I think Dean is largely, but
yeah.
I hope that it continues because I think it's a special thing that we have. I honestly do.
Yeah, you're not wrong, dude, and I can feel it. I'm so proud to be part of the network. If you would have told me, almost 2 years ago when I had to come home from Nicaragua, I was managing a friend's bar. I was having the time of my life, but I was getting fucking smashed, doing blow every day because I worked 15 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
That comes with getting wasted and doing drugs. And sadly that's the way it was, but it wasn't out of control because I still kicked ass, ran a bar. But what it came with was what it came with was a blessing almost that this COVID happened. It brought me home. It brought me into this. And it was amazing how when Dean was talking about that yesterday at the end of his show, remember how he signed off?
Yeah.
And he was like, look what he's done in 2 years since the pandemic and where he's come from. He was everybody, oh, he's a washed up loser on the radio. And you must laugh at that now, like every single time. Any loser who says that is still a miserable fuck living in their parents' basement. You know what I mean? So it is amazing what he's done. And it brought me back to like Bondzee. And that's why I've been on this rush lately because of that email I saw. Then his little speech at the end of the show yesterday. And I realized it was like, Bondzee, well, look what the fuck you've done in 2 years now. Like,
dude,
if I think about it, it's been stunning
on our podcast. I mean, I do. I mean, I'm not even kidding. I like the Bondzee days are fucking gold, man. They always are.
Yeah, Dean has his shows where it's serious. It's, you get right into it and people love that, but people also seem to have a liking for this crazy weirdo with 3 balls and now a growth. And, it's just, I bring a different dynamic to the show. I'm not Dean Blundell. I'm different. I'm a little more shot out of a cannon. I'm just me, at the end of the day.
But you're comfortable with who you are. And I think people get that. And I think you're also aware of your strength and your strengths and your weaknesses. And people pick up on that and they relate to that, Bondzee. And the thing is, I mean, I kind of got a rule in life. I think you have to figure out who you are. That's not an easy thing to do, and that takes time. You have to learn to be comfortable with who you are, and then you have to, and that's not easy. That's difficult.
That's
So
the
once
hardest
you
part.
figure out who you are, I'm 50. I'm okay at this. This second one, I'm still struggling with that, right? And then the third one is you got to stop fucking giving a flying fuck about what other people think of you.
And
If you
that's
can do those,
happening more and more. I'm getting way better at it, Locke, and because of you, because of Dean, and because you know who's been my biggest advocate of that, and like kind of doesn't yell at me, but he's like, it's my youngest son, Brad, who's 19 now. Listen, he started as a professional magician at a young age, like 12 years old, when he was getting paid big money for big gigs, and he went through school and was even though he was a little famous, he had his own TV show on CBC and stuff. He was getting bullied because he would go to school as this cool, young, handsome little chubby kid and could pull off magic tricks, and he had a circle of girls around him. So the younger boys would get jealous, and they'd come to school the next day and go, "Oh, I can do a trick. I can do a trick." And it'd get the girls' attention for 2 seconds. But Brad always knew. He'd be like, "Well, you'll be done in a day or two. You're going to be bored of this." It was his passion, you know? And this is my passion, and I'm loving what I'm doing. I'm so stoked to be a part of this. I've found my niche again after married life for 17 years, a painter for 20. And I started in radio. It's the funniest thing. And I missed it. And now I'm back. Not that this is radio, but being part of Dean's show twice now, sometimes
dude,
3
I'll tell
times
you,
a
this
week.
is as
Special.
close as you're going to get to doing radio. This right here, man. This is broadcasting. This is what I do.
I love doing this. It's almost like, listen, terrestrial radio is not deadlock. To jump back for a second, it's going to be around for a while still.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be around forever.
It's in a bad
spot
will right now.
It'll ultimately fade out, but especially with COVID.
Yeah.
But listen, you still slay it. I think the best thing you've done is turn your show even into a podcast for some of it, and then being on Dean's is amazing, and I'm proud to be a part of it too. So, listen, but before I've kept you long enough, but before we go, we got a couple more things. Is your wife absolutely terrified and scared of who is this fucking crazy Bondzee guy coming to stay at our house, Locke?
Well, just so you know, any concerns,
that guy. That's such a fucking horrid picture. Fuck you, Glassy.
Here's the thing that I enjoy Glassy's shots of you. So here's the thing about my my beautiful wife. My beautiful wife is always concerned about the relationships that I have developed outside of our circle of friends.
Sure.
Because she knows who I am, and she knows that I bring chaos into our lives, right? And the funny thing is that when I do bring that chaos in, more often than not, she ends up appreciating the chaos, right? But she's not as open as I am to the insanity, right? So it might take some time, but I do feel like you're one of my friends where I'll bring you around and you'll be okay. She'll be okay with you, right?
Lindley said she doesn't even know yet, does she? Don't lie.
No, I told her right away. I said, I got Bondzee coming, and she went, "Is that the fucking guy driving around the U.S. in the bus?
With the 3 nuts?"
Yeah. She still has a problem with Jim. Well, I shouldn't say a problem. My wife's concern with me is like when Jimmy's around she loves Jimmy and she loves me.
Yeah.
Jimmy and I together are trouble. Right? And we do the show when we're together. Right? And she doesn't particularly like the show.
You're kidding.
So, she's not a huge fan of the show, Bondzee. So she's like, you two are in the room. I don't want the fucking show. I don't even like the show. I'll take you separately.
I can't breathe.
You know you're going to get honesty from me. Yeah.
Oh, bro, I love you. Oh, my God. Honestly, listen, I can't wait to meet you in person. It's going to be special because you really have been. It's been a joy. It's been like 10 months now on the Dean Blundell show of pure shenanigans. The amount of laughs that we have shared together. And I've never met you, bro, but I fucking really do love you like a bro, dude. I really do.
Love you too, man. Today was funny. I can't even remember what we were talking about, but my fucking sides hurt. I was laughing so hard today. Yeah.
Listen, I can't thank you enough for saving my show tonight. I had no prep. You are the best. This was one of the funnest interviews. It's the first interview I've ever done on the fly. It was so much fun. Oh, before we go, I'd be remiss if we didn't play this. You gave me permission. We got to play the Jimmy video. We've been talking about Jimmy. Let's roll the video. This guy is special. So can you walk us through real quick what you did and where this video comes from, and then we'll roll it and I'll let you go.
Okay, so Chris Sky, who I don't want to explain Chris Sky. If you know him, you know him. If you don't, you don't. He's having a protest at the West Edmonton Mall. He's in Edmonton now. I guess he's got some issues in Ontario, so he's sort of made Edmonton his home base. And he wants to have a protest on Saturday where he's unmasked and they go through the West Edmonton Mall, one of the biggest malls in the world, biggest mall in Canada. Yeah. And he had a confrontation with them a couple of weeks ago. That's why he wants to do this protest. So somebody said we should, I can't even remember where this started, but
it was James on our personal DMs with us on the show.
James said you should get Jimmy to go down and do a speech because he always does the pump-up speech before they do any of these protests. And you should get him to go on stage and talk about how the vax, before he got the vax, he was 6 feet tall. And I said, there's no way. And I don't blame Jimmy. I'm not mad at Jimmy for not wanting to do this. I know Jimmy, and I know what he will and won't do. And I know he wouldn't do that, right? But then James said, well, if he's not going to go down there and do it in public, why don't you do like a fake video? So we did this video where he's pretending that the vaccine fucked him up and made him a midget. And so we wrote it up and produced it the other day, and it's pretty funny. We haven't even honestly, we did it and then sent it to the boss, and he approved it this morning because I said to the boss, I said, before we send this out, I want you to be okay with it. Yeah. Because we could get some complaints. Because there's a lot less of a sense of humor in the world that we live in now. So I just wanted him to have a heads up about it. And he did say, no, it's fine. Fucking do it. So I think we played it today on the Dean Blundell podcast. That's the first time anybody's ever seen it. So if you play it now, this is the second time. So we haven't even touched this on the morning show yet. So play
awesome. Well, I appreciate your permission. So without further ado, let's roll it.
Jimmy nailed it. He
really did nail it, dude. Yeah. It's awesome.
My name is James P. White from the locker room, and this is my story. Listen, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I just want the government to using me as a guinea pig. Not only that, a friend of mine who I went to community college with in Lethbridge in the 80s, wife's father's friend, balls exploded when they got the vaccine. He tried to warn people on Facebook, and he has since been blocked. The only way you could find the story is on DuckDuckGo or Bing. Personally, I've stopped using Google because they're hiding the truth from us. We have to get the information out about exploding testicle syndrome. A couple of weeks ago, I went to my favorite bar, East Coast Erection. It was karaoke night. All I wanted to do was sing my frustrations away. I even showed them my mask exemption card that my friend Sam Steele made for me, and nothing. What's happening to my country? So basically, I was forced to get the job. I'm not gonna lie. It's been a rough couple of weeks. But the great news is my nuts haven't exploded yet. But the bad news is I lost 2 feet. Before the pandemic broke, I could dunk a basketball. I could use a urinal. I could go to the buffet. I could even get on a bar stool without help. I just want answers. Look at me. You, Bill Gates.
Time now for the disclaimer. James P. White is not an anti-vaxxer. James P. White has been fully vaccinated, and he has always been this size. It had nothing to do with the vaccine. We are also well aware of the fact that there are many people that would like to take the vaccine but cannot for legitimate medical reasons. Be safe, everyone.
The Locker Room.
Brought to you by Always Plumbing and Heating.
Weekday mornings on 95.7 Cruise FM.
So fucking good.
I have so many things to break down in this video. First of all, those pants are absolutely fucking ginormous on him. Second of all, the wire coming out of his nose and you have it running through
oxygen
into a beer can with oxygen tank, into a Lucky beer can behind him on the floor. Like who put all this? Well, I know it was James' idea, but you guys really put this together, and it was brilliant, dude. Like,
it's the little things, right? Like we stuck it into a Lucky can. I mean, I saw an anti-vaxxer video where she got the vax and she was talking about all the medical issues she had, and she was on an oxygen thing. So I'm like, we gotta go. So I went to a medical supply store and bought the tube. The DuckDuckGo is a shot at Joe Rogan. The karaoke thing is a shot.
We talked about it on my show. That's the big thing with the Arizonians now. Some of the people I met, they're like, no, don't listen to Google and all that shit. You got to go to DuckDuckGo. So when I heard that, I was like, yes.
Yeah, the wire was perfect. There's little subtle jabs at Nicki
Everything.
Minaj. Yeah, there's a couple of things.
Balls.
I wrote that for him, sent him the script. He tightened it up, moved it around. He's dyslexic, so he has trouble reading. So we had to adjust it for Jimmy. But the Barbara Walters thing was Lindley, because I said to Lindley, I sent the script out, and I said, if anybody has any ideas, so we got a couple of pointers, and I tweaked the script.
Sorry, I couldn't help out. I was on American Thanksgiving Bender at the time.
Yeah. Ryan said, you got to do the different shots, right? Right. And pan in and out.
Multiple.
So we had 3 phones going. The funny thing is we filmed that. It took us about 30 minutes to set up and film. And then we took all the footage, put it all on the Mac, and sent Jimmy home with it. Right. I got him home by probably about 11. He didn't get that fucking thing done until 5 or 6 o'clock at night.
Wow.
So he literally worked 6-7 hours on it nonstop to get it done. And it's a 2-minute video. But
so
I'm
the little
so
fella's
glad.
good like that with the editing and stuff.
You know what? I'll tell you something. I said to Jimmy, because Jimmy's path in radio has been a bit different than mine, right? And Grant's and a lot of people. Like, I went to radio school.
Well, he was a basketball star, dude.
He was a basketball star. So I went to radio school 100 years ago, got a job, worked in small markets, boom, 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 bounced around, ended up in Winnipeg, then Edmonton. So my path has been what it is, right? And it takes a while to get to a major market. It just does. You got to sort of learn your chops. I found Jimmy when I wanted to do an event at the Bear years ago. I did this video sequence called "Will It Hurt?" And so I was looking for a midget to kick somebody at a St. Patrick's Day event, right? So literally one of his bosses called on, I got a guy for you. And then as soon as I met him, I'm like, I'm putting you on my fucking show. And it took me about a year to convince my bosses to let him on the show. And then he's just been a part of my show. Yeah, it did take a year. Dude, it's too long. It would take all night to explain me and my show and Jimmy.
Can we get him a pair of fucking pants that fit though, dude, for real? Like, come on. When I'm coming there for Christmas, I'm buying the motherfucker. I'm taking him out to
He's
a tailor.
got a pair of skinny jeans, but he doesn't like them.
Fuck off with that. I'm a handsome motherfucker now. I'm deleting that picture forever. I'm talking to my peeps.
Anyway, where was I? What was I talking about?
I don't know, Glassy and his fucking Jimmy and his I said his pants are so no, I don't know.
So the traditional path in radio. So I said to Jimmy, I said, you know what, dude, he's already valuable. He's a huge part of the show.
Sure.
But he so desperately wants to help out. He's that guy. Like he's always coming to me going, hey, can I help you? And can I learn this? Can I learn that? I've taught him Music Master. I've taught him how to run the board. I've taught him how to like he wants to learn things. And I told him a couple years ago, I said, you know what would be huge? Because I don't know how to do it and I just don't have the time. I said, you should figure out how to do videos. And this little prick, fucking went, he literally sat down and he has figured it out.
Again.
Bondzee, he does all our videos.
No way.
Everything. He edits
He's
everything.
Brilliant at it.
He's very good at it. And he's gotten better. The thing I like about it is it's not what he does is so locker room. Right? It's not slick. It's not polished. It's not Oprah. Yeah. It's the locker room. He knows the show and he does it. And he's figured it all out on his own. And fuck man, it's invaluable. Like he edits stuff. Now he's fast. He's way quicker. That video he just did took him all day because he had to pull 3 phones. He had to piece everything together. Yeah. He had to figure out like it's a lot of work, right? You've done video.
Dude, I do. And I'm still learning and getting better at it, man. I'm still a hack. But
Jimmy's still a hack too, but I mean, at least we can.
He looks like a better hack than me, though.
Yeah, he's good at it, man. He's very good at it. And to his credit, he learned it all on his own. We've got no help. We got no
Adobe Pro.
We got no
what does he use? Adobe Pro Premium.
He's on a Mac. I know that. You'd have to send him a quick note.
He's probably using iMovie then. He might have Adobe Premium, but
I think he's got some form of Adobe.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably the Pro Premium. It's the best. I haven't had the time to learn it. I'm too fucking busy, so I just use iMovie. I know it, but listen, iMovie doesn't suck either. I know there's some people out there, iMovie sucked, but listen, it still allows me as a hack, as a guy who's newish YouTuber, to put shit together when I can, and make nice videos. So good on Jimmy.
Yeah, no, and listen, I'm glad because now, like, we had a guy doing it before who was amazing at it and went to school for it, but the videos never felt like us.
Yeah.
Like, now Jimmy does it, and the videos he does.
Because he is the us, so
he's us. We don't have to, like, we have conversations about what I want, and I'll watch it. Like, he'll send it, we go back and forth, and I have input, but it's unbelievable. Like what he's learned and all on his own, right?
Right on. Yeah, that's cool. Glassy's got one question for you before we let you go, bro.
How do you honestly? How can you get away with making fun of him so beautifully on your show every day? Because, like, you're right, he is the centerpiece. He does make your show all that much more. But I mean, I know he takes it in good jest. It's the same thing when I worked with Cubby. Same thing. He treated me like you treat Jimmy. Yeah. And you have to have that good sense of humor. How do you get away with that on such a regular basis and let him laugh at himself?
Well, I mean, the big thing about our show is we know our roles. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, as much as we're trying to be ourselves and we're coming in every day and we're just trying to be amplified versions of who we actually are, and I think we're kind of entertaining, and we're just trying to have fun. We also have roles on the show. Mm-hmm. And what I've told Jimmy from day one was, I don't want you to be anything other than yourself. No. And every once in a while, I will be honest, we have our difficulties, right? Like, I'll have a bad day. Jimmy will have a bad day. Grant will have an off day. And the show is not the same. But when we're clicking, it's a good show. I think it's a great show.
Dude, it's awesome, and people love it.
But Jimmy knows his role, and he's got massive. I have never met Glassy. I swear to God, man, I've never met anybody with more humility. But he's had to learn that. Jimmy has had to learn something that I don't think he knew about himself. Jimmy is 4 feet tall, and he's had an interesting life. And Jimmy is that friend in everybody's friend group that you pick on. Now, listen, Jimmy is 4 feet tall, and he's an alcoholic, and he's got a fucking horrible hygiene, and he's got all these things you can pick on, right? But the thing about Jimmy is that if he was 6'4" and 240 pounds, we would still pick on him exactly like we pick on him.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with his fucking height. And that's the thing that people, once they get to know the show, they separate.
Sort of like Bondzee on the Dean Blundell show. It doesn't matter.
Dude, you're a content yard sale. That's what makes you amazing.
Yes.
A content yard sale. I'm with Locke on that.
Bondzee is, Bondzee's that guy. Yeah. That's exactly what this is. And the thing is those people tend to have a lot of humility because they've been picked on, or they've been that guy in that friends group their whole lives, right?
Right.
Yeah. And Jimmy just needed, because we have to do it every day, and it has to be content, and it has to be part of the show. Jimmy just needs to be. It needed to be pointed out. If you put Jimmy in any other situation, and I've pointed this out to him to prove the point, his family will come up and visit him. 2 seconds into the visit, his mother's poking fun at him. Like, he's just that fucking guy. But he loves it. He loves being that guy, right? Every once in a while, he'll push back on us. Like, he'll have a bad day. Like, we had a thing on Monday where he was being, Jimmy decides every once in a while that he shouldn't drink, so he'll go dry for 2 or 3 days. So the third day in, he's just a piece of shit. And he's miserable, and then he doesn't take it, and then he pushes back. And then I got to remind him, hold on.
Hang on. Full stop. Yep.
Yeah. You're being a dick.
That's amazing. And I know that because like I worked with Cubby, Cub Carson, and I was his whipping boy for the years that I worked with him in radio. Every day, because I did middays, he was the morning guy, and every day on my drive into work, it was something to what the fuck is Glassy doing now? He'd poke fun at me, and Cub, he can fucking go with you. Like, he can take you to town if you give him an inch, And so I totally know where you're coming from. And you're the same way with Jimmy. And I love that. That's what makes radio real,
Well, I mean, it is, we have a real relationship. And the thing about that I think that people have picked up on, if they do listen to the show on a regular basis, is that we have a respect for each other, and we have a dynamic that is, it is what it is. Like, and if you just got thrown into it, you might go, what the fuck's going on here? But we're like brothers. So we fight like brothers. So,
well, dude, you pick them up at 4 a.m. You're not just radio co-hosts. For those who are watching that don't know, you guys, like, we see so many like radio people together, and they get along amazing on the show, and it's for the show, but they don't spend a fucking second together. Otherwise, what people don't know is you and Jimmy are legit best friends on the planet, which is, and I think that's what comes off and makes it better, and it makes the show even more great that you have.
The other thing that we've done is, and this is something I learned a long, long time ago. If I have a problem, I fucking throw it on the air. Like, if we're fighting, we deal with it on the air, and it's fucking real. And sometimes it is awkward as fuck.
But sometimes it sticks, though.
But
with somebody.
But it resonates with people, right? 100%. And then they see that realness.
That's content. Right? That's content. It's good content,
Like, if I have a problem, his family's mad at me right now. We've talked about it on the air, right? Like, I blocked them all on Facebook, and like that kind of stuff. And that's one of the issues we have in our room, is that they know sometimes we don't deal with stuff as emotionally and as maturely as we probably should, based on the fact that I use everything as content. So
does that hinder you content. Sometimes you think he is content, you're gold. in content. But do you think that those times when you're fighting because you guys have such a special relationship, and it does come out on the air, and like Army Chris says, like, if these fuckers are my friends and if they have a bad show, I'm going to let them know. Does that happen a lot,
Oh
or
yeah,
do you
Army
try
Chris
to?
will let us know.
I just it's over and done with, and then on with the next. You get over a bad show, but you know what some
You
might
have to have
consider a bad
very
show.
thick skin in this business, man.
Yes.
The hell
I mean,
yeah.
if you sit and dwell on it, it'll kill you.
And you told me that in a personal message because I was upset about one fucking and
comment?
ultimately, listen,
Yeah.
it was one comment. I was upset for about 20 minutes. I'm getting way better at the ignorance now of some people. And listen, I encourage it. I don't encourage it, but listen, if you fucking don't like Bondzee, listen, that's okay. You know,
Fuck 'em.
I
You can't
do
worry
try
about
to
it.
please everybody, but fuck them. I can't
Yeah,
please
no,
everybody.
you can't. You know
He
what?
was so mad. Go ahead.
The one thing that I have a problem with, and this is still something I haven't figured out how to deal with. Someone can tell me, I hate you. I'll never listen to you again. I'm like, all right, have a good day.
Yeah.
Gone. Move
Take
on.
care.
I am totally done. I it doesn't bother me at all. You have the worst show on the planet.
Cool.
No problem.
Thanks for listening.
I can
Yeah.
completely
Goodbye, God
that
bless.
will not ruin my day. You're a fucking idiot. No problems. I know I'm an idiot. When people tell me how to do my job, I lose my mind.
That's when you have a
I've never figured out how to deal with that.
Yeah.
Like I've literally, and Grant and Jimmy will attest to this because Grant will just start. He gets in the fetal position and starts rocking back and forth because he knows I'm going to phone them and I'm going to go, "Hey, what do you do? They're like, what?
Yeah.
What do you do? Oh, I'm a painter. All right, I'm going to come down today. Where are you guys? What do you mean? Where am I? Where are you? What are you painting? You got a project? Yeah, we're painting. I'm going to come down and I'm going to fucking watch you and tell you how you're doing your job.
Couple do
And then
that
they
too.
go, why? You can't do that. And I'm going, you just told me how to do my fucking job.
Right.
Now you're telling me I can't come down and tell you how to fucking paint a wall?
Funny how that
Odd.
works.
Yeah,
Right?
I've never figured that out. So if you ever see me mad and my blood pressure and my eyes popping out of my head and me reaching for an alcoholic beverage at 7:00 in the morning, it's because somebody phoned me and told me that I shouldn't do this or I need to do this or why are you doing this? Like that's an issue I need to fucking work on.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because I had that thick skin. I owned my own painting company for 20 years, and I'd have cunts that would come and say, "Oh, you did this wrong, you did, or I did, do this
Yeah.
or do." Listen, pal,
Fucking
I've done
balls
this a
rolled
lot
raw.
longer than you. But
Yeah.
then being on now being 2 years almost as my own podcast and live, and now on the Dean Blundell show for a year, I've gotten some hate comments, and it's something that I have to get used to.
Yeah.
Because when I was on radio, when I was on radio, it was 20 plus years ago, Locke. So there wasn't a lot of, there was no internet
Carts.
when I was on radio. Internet was not around when I was on radio. It was just starting to come in at the end of my 2-year stint. And so all you had was phone callers. And if somebody called up and go, "Oh, you suck," I'd be just like, "See you later." It didn't
You
bother
can
me
move
at all.
on, yeah.
Yeah. But
Now they can reach you. They can
now
they can reach
fully.
right
And
out of the
when
keyboard.
when you're a bit of a noob, and listen, I didn't even have
Damn you,
really hate
bastards.
mail for a year plus because I just did it for my own family and friends on Facebook. And then I got into YouTube. Then I got onto Dean. And when I got onto Dean is when I started getting the hate. "Oh, I love that Locke guy. He's a funny dude. Dean's awesome.
Oh,
No,
dude,
James,
there's not a
Mushroom
day that
guy's
goes
funny."
by I don't
And then,
get.
"Oh,
I don't
that
get.
bald-headed prick's a fucking loser. He can't even drive a bus."
You were
It
so
kinda
mad.
just fucking
You
hurt
were
for a
so
second.
mad.
I
I
was.
literally had to. I spent the afternoon talking you off the ledge.
Because
fuck
he
off. It
shit
wasn't
talked
the
his
afternoon.
driving skills.
I was
That's
pissed
funny.
off.
I
That's
find
funny.
that entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't encourage glassy, please, Locke. Okay.
Come on.
But listen,
No, it's good.
I'm over it now, and I've learned. I've had many talks with Dean since about it, and my own son, and that's what I was referring to earlier. My own son was like, "Dad, the fact that you have haters means you've kind of made it a bit because
Yeah, it does actually. It is a sign. I mean, the thing is in this business, what we're doing is it's specific, and you have people that are going to like you. I mean, that's what I do now. If somebody doesn't like me, I legitimately I legitimately say to them, "Listen, you should go find another show."
I gotta do it. And the
Because
show. Wade just made me so upset. I gotta go.
Go over and listen to Pete and Terry. They're amazing.
they're unbelievable.
Did you ever think that
The
would
mayor
work
of
out?
Rock and Roll
Did you,
City.
did you ever think that would work
Oh,
out?
it's still not going to work out. That's
No.
that'll end there.
They're all like, what the fuck, man? I love Pete. He's been a good buddy of mine for a long time.
That will not work out. I feel
Yeah.
sorry for him. He's
Yeah.
probably in counseling right now because of his involvement with that guy. I mean, it's just a matter of time. And if he does last a certain length of time in that building with that man, good for him. All the more power.
Jeff
to
loves
them.
it. Jeff loves it. So there you go.
And they have an amazing ability to lie to you. I mean, about what they're doing. So
I mean, has Chris ever pulled out many hairs over what you've done?
Myers. Myers kind of lets us go.
Yeah, I know, because you run by the philosophy it's easier to beg for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission.
Well,
right?
I mean, I do make sure that, like for instance, the like that video you guys watched. I said to him, "We're going to produce this thing. I'm not going to tell you what it's about, but we could have some complaints about it. You need to see it before we launch it." And he's like, "Yeah, okay." And then he saw it, and he's like, "Yeah, launch it." And then he'll deal with the complaints. So I'm lucky in that regard that he doesn't. There's not a lot of interference. I'm very lucky that I'm at Harvard.
Yeah,
I will.
Oh,
say
I know.
This, man. Yeah,
I know.
So
we were at Rogers up in Fort McMurray, and I mean, you know Andrew Wilcox, do you?
Yeah.
Great guy, and he says the exact same thing. Like, what a great company. They just let you until something hits the fan. Yeah. They let you run with it. Whereas Rogers is like, oh, I got a content director who's 4 provinces over, who's running this. It's just ridiculous.
No, I've never done well in that environment. So, guys, I gotta go. I gotta take a leak, and I'm gonna go check the score in the Oilers game, and then I'm gonna crash.
I think
this has been fun. Bondzee, I can't wait to see you.
Dude, okay? I can't either. And thanks so much for having me up there. I
can't believe you're letting him stay at your house.
It's going to be awesome.
It is
going to be a huge favor.
Yeah. Take care, and thanks for joining us.
Good to see you, Glassy.
Pleasure, man. Pleasure.
Take care. The best.
Pleasure, you too.
That's Lachlan Cross, host of The Locker Room, every morning, Monday to Friday. What do they start? 6 till 10?
6 to 10. Yep.
Yeah. 95.7 Cruise FM out of Edmonton, Ontario. Jesus. I'm just so used to saying where are you from? Anyways,
we call it Edmond Dump. We call it Edmond Dump.
Well, it's not a dump. You guys city champions, bud. City champions.
30 years
ago. That sign might be a little worn out.
So I know that I know the comments are going to torch.
Your city has won a championship in anything.
Well, nothing. We don't win nothing. We just burn everything to the ground.
When was the last time they won? Probably it would be your last championship.
No,
I can't remember.
Edmonton has the Eskimos.
Oh, well, not. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Edmonton, you fuck.
We got the BC Lions here.
Well, fuck your Lions. I'm not talking about you. Okay, that's enough of you. You did a great job. Thank you. I'll bring them back. But okay, let's get back with the show. Anyways, that was Lachlan Cross, 95.7 Cruise FM, Edmonton, Alberta. You got to go check them out, folks. It's online now. It is the best morning show in Canada. Fuck, I don't care what you listen to. Go give him a shot. He's the only one with a little person as a co-host, and they're best pals. And the show is real and raw. And it's as good as it gets. I've been lucky enough to be a guest on there a bunch of times. Done some call-ins. Crazy. I was living in California there for 4 months. I'd be calling. I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning. Locke's like, "Are you sure, bro? I feel so bad. I'm like, "Nah, dude. It's exposure. It's what you got to do." So and I've heard many stars be on Howard Stern because he was in New York City. They get up and do the same thing. So kind of felt like a bit of a star for a minute. Anyways, they're the best. You got to go check out the morning show. I highly recommend you ditch the morning show you're listening to. You can stream it online. 95.7 Cruise FM. It's the Locker Room with Lachlan Cross and the rest of his cast, those hooligans. That's my boy right there. And I'm going to go house sit for him. And I'm really stoked to meet him. It's funny, man. It's amazing how you can build relationships with people online without ever meeting them. It really is cool. You can see how you can understand how so many people do meet over online and end up getting married and stuff. It's pretty crazy. Anyways, Not that me and Locke are getting married or anything. I'm just saying, the correlation, like, that's enough, Bondzee. Anyways, what a great guest. That guy is like, he's the best. He could talk forever. And I can't wait to hang out with him. I am going to have a couple beers with my boy. Not going to get pissed. Not going to get so like super shit-faced where he can't walk, talk, or make change. But I'm going to have a couple beers with my boy Locke and Jimmy and Army Chris and Wade and Positive Mike. Well, Bondzee, that equals a whole lot of fucking drinking, doesn't it? Yes, but in like minor amounts, if you will. Okay. I know. But listen, it's a process, and we are progressing through the process. So, fuck off. I'm working on it. Okay, moderation, like my boy Fire for Effect says, Army Chris. That was a lot of fun. And so, listen, here's what's happening, because everybody wants to know, and I brought it up a little bit earlier, but we'll end the show with this. An hour and 41 minutes. I was like, how am I going to even do 40 minutes? Because I put 0.0 effort into the show tonight, except for the last half hour when I got here, and I was just like, fully typing out point form notes. Glassy's in the background doing his thing, getting all the videos and pics ready for y'all. I was sitting here making my point forms. And listen, so I like I said, I polished this bus to a mofo. It is like, I got this trait from my mom. Do you have a mom like this, or a relative where you're like, maybe a sibling or whatever, and you go over to their house, oh, you, don't mind the math, or the other side is they think it's messy, but it's fucking sparkling. That's my mom, me mom. Okay. If family's coming from England, if my girlfriend was coming over, if my girlfriend's parents were coming over back in the day, like I'm talking my childhood, I got kicked out of my house because of this fucking shit one time. It was like, Ma, I was just like, the queen is not coming here today. Fuck, the house is fine. We're good. Let's just rock and roll with it. God, you're so lazy. Son of a bitch. Anyways, I probably said something I shouldn't have said to me mom, and I regret it to this day. And that was the first time I ever got kicked out. I don't know even how this came out. Oh yeah, because of just the house cleaning and this bus cleaning. But it actually came off as a good trait to me. I hated her for it back in the day. Hated her for it. Like, Mom, fuck, the house is fucking clean. You'd have to shampoo carpets. You'd have to fucking get the Windex out in every last corner. Like, Mom, they're not gonna go open the curtains and inspect the windows at the very top. They're just not. Well, Gregory Scott, you just don't know. Like, I just want to come off as a really nice looking place. And parents love their house. They still live in this house I was born in. 48 years. Kidding me? Anyways, I really, it was a problem with me back in the day. I couldn't stand her for it. Now, guess what? I'm her. I'm so glad I can laugh about it, because I literally wanted to shoot myself right now, but all jokes aside. But I'm her. So it took me, like, I stayed an extra 2 days at that, 3 days, if you think about it, at that campground, because I wanted to polish every last inch of this bus. Well, I did it. Okay. Finally left this morning, and we could pull up to this, but I was highly recommended. I'm so glad I went there. It was awesome. I have to give these guys a huge shout out. It's called Danny's Truck Wash. It's right off the Highway 10, famous highway, runs literally across the bottom part of the United States of America. And what an amazing place. Anyways, they felt so bad. I went through it was an hour and a half wait, which was okay, because it gave me a little more time to just do my little OCD fucking me mum bred into my brain. Oh, make sure it's the Queen's coming, Gregory Scott. Okay, has to be perfect. So I had to make sure it was perfect, because these mofos are going to buy this bus. It's not like I'm just taking it to get fixed and stuff. I am, but I'm taking it to sell it. So, like, I packed up every last nook and cranny of this bus. It shines like the Queen's fucking kitchen. And it paid off, because today I got the bus washed on the outside. Okay. Hour and a half wait, Then I got to do the Dean Blundell show. So now the one guy that was going to buy it, I didn't even make it there today. Thanks to my genius manager Jason. God, I love that guy. He has saved my ass so many times. That's why you have a manager, folks. He's the best. And he's honestly, he's incredible, and he saved my ass. So he did some research, and he sent me an email, and it was one of the greatest emails I've ever gotten. And it literally explained, okay, Bondzee, here's the game plan. We're going to do, this guy wants the bus. Yes. But let's get some arsenal. There's this place 25 minutes up the road. You have to pass it to get there. Call them, make an appointment. Say, I got this bus, Prevost 95. Now, I found out through my manager, Jason, because he's smarter than me, that my bus is a special bus. It was produced for only 2 years by one of the biggest Prevost manufacturers, specialist dudes in the world, Mitchell. This is a Prevost Vogue Mitchell, only done 2 years in California, only built for the stars. I have a pretty special bus. Didn't even know it when I bought it. Turns out I do. Turns out it's going to make me more money. When I got here, so here's what I did. After I got the bus washed today, I called the place and said, hey, I'm on my way to such and such place. I know they know each other. Okay. So follow me here for a second. I know. If you find this boring, fuck off. But this is what happened. This is the real truth, and it's amazing because it's everything's coming together. It really is. So I show up today. I'm all nervous because it's a nerve-wracking thing. I love this bus. I don't want to give it up. I don't have to give it up for money or anything. But I said it before. These buses need to be run. You can't sit around forever and ever and just work on them like I've been doing. And these motherfuckers love to be run. When I drive this thing, it feels like a champion. This bus runs like an F1 Formula car. It's no joke. It runs like an electric car, I should say, because the engine's at the back 45 feet away. You don't even hear a sound. Not a sound. Just your tunes or Howard Stern or whatever you listen to. Bill Burr. It's amazing. It feels like an electric car, and it drives like such. And I love it. But I have things to do. I have bigger and better things to do than to sit in a bus and record video. Like, I'm still want to do all this, but it's not on a bus anymore. I did my gambit. I have 9 months. I've seen 8 states. It's been a pretty awesome time. No regrets. People need and want this bus. And funny thing is, best thing I ever did was manager Jason sent me here. And everything happens for a reason. I pulled in. I called him and said, hey, I've got this bus. I'm on my way to a different place, actually, not even your place, to get it fixed. I busted some panel doors. And then I would like to possibly sell it. I'm not desperate. I'm not looking to sell it, but I'm willing to entertain. They were like, what do you got? And when I told them, they were like, we got a lunker. We got a lunker. It's like fucking shark on, bud. Shark on. They let me stay here tonight. That's why I'm still on the bus. So I pull in here. It's a 40-minute drive from where I got it washed. Had a show to do. Got here in nick of time. They looked over the bus, took photos right away, already sent it out to clients that are looking for this type of thing. I might not even end up fucking having to get it fixed. I might sell it as is tomorrow. Sight unseen to somebody who's seen the pictures and go, okay, so here's got this, and this is brand new. This is damaged. Not a big deal. 10 grand to get it fixed. Done. This is the best thing it could have happened. So that's why I'm still here. So I'm still on the bus. And listen, if it doesn't work out tomorrow, we're still going down to the next guy. He still might buy it sight unseen. And if he doesn't, he fixes it. It comes back here, and then they will have customers. Yeah, because I did that. That's it's a detriment. It's a site detrimental. But listen, good things are happening. I've already got the lady already came out to me tonight and knocked on the door twice and said, she's like, oh my God, I've already got 2 potential buyers for your bus. I was here. And the other cool, I was here like 20 minutes when this happened. She came out, literally saw me pull in. She ran out like God had showed up. And she was like, sent it off to clients. they lent me a car. They have cars here. I said, Miss, I need some. I cleaned out everything. The fridge is empty. The freezer's empty. Is there somewhere I can just go grab something to eat? And she's like, I need to walk. And she's like, walk. We have cars here for you, courtesy car. I was like, what? So I drove a car today for the first time in like 2 months. It was weird, but awesome. Anyways, went and grabbed myself some groceries at the old Walmart. And listen, I think by tomorrow morning when I leave here, I think really good things are going to happen and come. So that's what happened. That's what's happening. And listen, I might have a serious amount of cash in my pocket in the next couple days, and then off to LA because I got my brand new agent. I've got to go meet him. I want to go meet him. I don't have to. I want to go meet him. I want to go. I'll take him out for dinner, and motherfucker's going to get me some gigs, yo. And whether it be more, I'm into the voice acting. I wanted to dub some movies, like I said, from there's a ton of work coming in from Asia and Hong Kong and stuff, where there's some great movies coming in over there. And there's a big market for it here because we're so multicultural in North America. It's what's happening. There's the boss. It's a sexy looking beast. Anyways, that's it. That's all. It's Bondzee Live, tripping with Bondzee on YouTube and the Dean Blundell Show. Wow, deep breath, Bondzee. Hour and 51. That's pretty good. I didn't even think I'd have a show tonight, to be honest with you. That's how it goes sometimes, folks. World works in funny ways. And manager Jason is the shit. I love that guy to death. He's the one who kind of guided me here and was like, dude, I already know you have this potential buyer. Even if he doesn't buy it, he's going to fix it up. He'll sell it for you. But why don't we get a couple of opinions? A couple of options is always nice. I even hummed and hawed. I'm like, just go and deal with this one guy, best decision I ever made was coming here. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, manager Jason. Love that guy. Show's brought to you by Positive Mike's Brewing. Go check them out. Buy some merch. Guy's the best. I cannot wait. I'll be up in Edmonton in the next week or two. That's going to be a culture shock. Arizona, LA, Edmonton. I don't even have a winter coat. I don't have winter boots. I have 2 toques. 2. But I have no gloves. Fuck. Gonna have to go to the old, what do you call it? Salvation Army or something. Grab a bunch of loot for cheap because I don't plan on being there long. Fuck that. I can't wait to come to Edmonton and check it all out. Watch Locke's house for him, protect it for him. I got my guard dog, Tucker. We're going to have a great time there. I can't wait to see everybody. Wade, my boy from Fire Effect, Army Chris. We got Gwen. We're going to smoke a joint together. Yeah, we are. The Apolloways I'm spending Christmas Eve with. It's going to be one of their best Christmas Eves ever. Guarantee that. What else? And anybody else I missed out there? I'm going to the Toronto Maple Leafs are playing the Edmonton Oilers on the 14th of December. And maybe, just maybe, Dean hinted at it. It was on Dean's show today, Dean Blundell Show. Catch it every day, Monday to Friday, 3 p.m.-ish, 3:15 p.m.-ish, if you will, on his own network and YouTube. Dean might fly out and catch that game with me. So let's see. Oh, what is the weather? I can't see that because of this. Oh, dude, that looks, well, -12, -8, -2. It's not, could be worse. It's not -20 or anything, so I can get by with that. Anyways, listen, Dean Blundell might fly out to Edmonton to meet me and my buddy who I met and played ball with in Nicaragua for a couple years. My boy, we're going to go to the Leafs game, Leafs Edmonton game. And I'm looking forward to it. And D might join us. That'll be some pretty good content. Howard McGregor says, great show. Keep rocking. Thank you very much, sir. Brad Walker says, great show. Everybody, listen, I love you all, each and every one of you. I don't mention your name. It doesn't mean I don't love you. You guys are the best. I can't thank you enough for the support. The viewership's been amazing tonight. The viewership's been amazing across this whole journey, which is sort of wrapping up in the American side. But listen, lest you think Bondzee is going anywhere, I ain't. It's still tripping with Bondzee. We're going to Edmonton. We might skip over to BC if it works out, if I can get to the places I need to get to. But then we got to go to Ontario. Got to see my parents. Got to recharge. Got to see my boy, right? And then I got to sell my car there because this trip is, and I don't foresee living anywhere permanently. Still, we're going to be tripping. I'm a voice actor by trade. I can work anywhere on the planet. I will not be buying a house. Might even buy another RV. Maybe trip across Canada next. Might come back down to Arizona because, God, I love it here. And there's so many more places that I got to go that I was told about. Listen, you never know what's going to happen. So many things coming up for Bondzee. I can't wait for 2022. I love you all. I wish you all the best. I'll see you Friday. My boy, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention it. Glassy, God bless you for tonight's show and helping out with everything and setting it up, because I literally jumped on the mic tonight and had no prep. So I hope you all enjoyed the show. God bless and Godspeed out to everybody out there in the floods in BC. Take care of one another, love one another, and listen, do good deeds, because it'll come back to you. It really will. Love you. See you Friday. Bye.